How do you even go about making your marriage great again? Happy, right? Like the kind of marriage you hoped for and expected when you got married in the first place. Nobody gets married and expects a bad marriage and disconnected marriage. So, you wished for a marriage where you feel connected and happy to spend time together and you can lean on each other and you want to be intimate and you just like laugh together and life is better because you're together. So, this is the kind of marriage we all hope and dream for. But because life happens and relationships are relationships and nobody teaches us how to go about them, most of us find ourselves at some point where it just feels terrible. Terrible is, for example, if I would ask you, what are the top three feelings towards your husband or within your marriage, how you feel within your marriage? And I will tell you, my most of my clients tell me a combination of this, like hurt, angry, frustrated, resentful, alone, and disconnected. Overwhelmed too, but mainly these like very sad ones, let's say, like unhappy. Let's just say like unhappy feelings, right? Not even negative, but unhappy feelings in their marriage. So uh, you want a great marriage, but you look at your life and it's so terrible, right? Like sad or unhappy that one, maybe you don't even like you don't know where to begin, right? It feels like overwhelming. It's too much. Like it feels like so many things have to change. Like I cannot do it. Like, or maybe it's not even possible for me. And you think so many couples have that happy marriage because maybe you see the beautiful pictures on Facebook, which I promise you, behind those, there's not so much happiness as you think. I know it because like most of my clients have great pictures on Facebook and look like they have a happy family life. So not everyone has that like great marriage and it takes work and it's okay, right? Like just so you know, it's not something that you did wrong and you failed at. So every marriage goes through this, and some they don't know how to deal with it, and they simply divorce or are unhappy forever. But a few of them, those that are happy in the end, they went through the bad times. So they didn't just have a happy marriage and that was it. So they went through the bad times. They found solutions. They found like how to speak to each other, how to be with each other, how to be present and everything, right? So how do you even go like when it seems so unattainable, so big? So let's say right now you are 0% happy and you want to be 100% happy. Like, don't, I will tell you, not like it's impossible to be 100% happy all the time. I was in a place like that and it's boring. Like, we need a bit of drama, especially as women. And we are human. It would be really boring if we would be happy all the time. It would actually make us sad. So it's really not possible. So just seeing the humanness of like of people, right, and of you, uh, maybe attain like dream to have like 80% happiness, right? When you accept that it's okay to be unhappy, you actually are more happy. This is another discussion. So let's go back. Like you are, let's say you are 0% happy and you want to be 80% happy, right? Like you want to change the daily interaction, the daily feelings, how you feel. Like that's what we want, right? Like we think we want those maybe big gestures or how our husband acts, but we want mostly to feel good. We want to feel happy. We want to feel safe and trusting and connected, right? Like most of us want the feeling behind the action. We think we want, like, I want my husband to give me flowers and so on, but we want how the gestures make us feel, right? Like we want the feelings. So how do you even go about it? There's like way number one, which it didn't work for me, but I'm assuming it works for some people. So I will just tell you it's the manifestation law of attraction way. And I love it. It sounds great. And I think it's possible. It's just not the way I did it in my marriage. Um, and sometimes I invite my clients to do this, but mostly like I tell them like, the way that I know 100% works. So number one way is to imagine how you would think, feel, and act if you would have that like the happiest marriage ever, right? Like if you would be in that like great marriage that you ever hoped for and step in the shoes of that woman, like really think those thoughts. It all begins with the thoughts like, I'm so grateful for life. I'm so happy with my marriage. My husband loves me so much. For most of us, when we are in that terrible place, it's such a disconnection between how things really are. Like we cannot go there. Like we cannot pretend. If you would pretend, like your husband would react better with you like every day, and you would actually see the changes, right? Like you would actually see it, the dream attain. Like when you start being that person, you will just have the what that person has. It's if you studied a bit of law of attraction and manifestation, it's just like that, but it's backed up by psychology. Actually, it's backed up by psychology. When you think in a different way and you feel in a different way, you act in a different way with your husband, and he reacts differently with you. So you actually manifest it, right? Like that is manifestation. And number two way, which I want to teach everyone, right? Like right now on this YouTube video, get there 1% at a time. So what we do, that because the gap is so big, we think, oh, well, like we give up. What if we would aim for 1% happier every day? What if we aim for I can be unhappy and happy in the same day? So instead of being unhappy all day long, I can be 1% happy today, right? Like we think it's like on and off switch or 0 and 100%, like either you're happy or unhappy. What if you can hold both? So what if you aim for, like right now you're 0% happy, tomorrow you're 1% happy, the day after tomorrow 2% happy, and so on, right? So what if it's okay, like give yourself permission to make the choice of being happy even though you're unhappy. Does it make sense? So it's okay, like you have all the evidence. Maybe your husband doesn't talk to you, like everything is bad. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't help you. There's no communication. There's no nothing. If I ask you, what is one good thing that's happening in your marriage right now? You would tell me nothing. Like, look, I have all the evidence. Like, if I force you to find one good thing that is happening right now in your marriage, like you would be forced, like your life depends on it, your children's life depends on it, you would find something. I will give you an example. One client, when she started with me and I asked her this, like, what is going well, she I forced her, right, to say like one good thing, and she said, well, even if my husband sleeps in the basement and like has his whole life there, he didn't move out, and he's actually here with me in the house, and he didn't move out, and he doesn't have somebody else. So she didn't focus on that before, right? Like I told her about all my clients where their partner moved out or their partner had somebody else, right? So there is always one thing you can be happy for, but you don't allow yourself to go there because you have all the evidence for the unhappy stuff, right? So it's you have to allow yourself and to make the choice to be happy sometimes. It's very uncomfortable when you've been unhappy for a long time. I promise you, this is how it goes. Like just play with being happy a bit, right? And it's a choice. That's why, like we say, it's a choice, because if you force yourself to find reasons, you will find. Or if you go with the uncomfortable feeling of like feeling okay and not fighting and just being present with your husband. Let's say if you eat together, or even if you just like, let's say you don't talk, like it's a Cold War, right? And you're around the house, but instead of thinking of all the things he said yesterday when you fought, or all the things that went bad last week and 3 months ago, what if you focus on being in the moment and feeling connected to your senses, or being grateful that you're healthy, that he's there in the house, and just being okay. Not even talking, just feeling okay, present, okay, enough, and feeling that this moment is enough. So this is what I'm inviting you to do, is to see that you can be unhappy and happy in the same time. Right? Until you are more and more happy, and you make the happy more comfortable, and you make the happy bigger, the happy feelings bigger. Like day by day, you go with this. Like you, firstly, it will feel, in the beginning, it will feel like you're forcing yourself to find the happy feelings. But in the end, like it will be easier and easier, like doing things that make you happy, being present, like creating the happy moments. I always give this example. For example, if I was your like health coach or teacher, instead of, it's the analogy, right? Like instead of telling you don't eat sugar or gluten, like don't eat the bad foods, what if like It's okay. You can eat the bad foods, but just introduce some good foods, right? This is what I'm asking. I'm not telling you like let go of all the bad foods. Just introduce some good ones. So just introduce some happy feelings and start making your body and your mind feel comfortable with feeling happy sometimes because you felt unhappy for such a long time. Like most people, when they are at this point, and like listening to videos and hiring a coach. By the way, I love giving free marriage assessments. I absolutely love giving those. You can find a link to book one in the description. So most people who are in this place, like they've been unhappy for a long time. So what if you give yourself permission to be just a bit happy today and a bit happier tomorrow until you're at that place? I promise you, you get there. Like there's no, I don't know, there's no doubt. Like if you do, like if you take one step towards something, you get there, right? Like there's absolutely no doubt. And there's absolutely no doubt that the more you focus on the positive, not only the more you will see it where it is there and you feel good, your husband will like seeing you happy and will like seeing that it's not all negative and will want to add to that happiness. So it's not his responsibility to make you happy, but it's his honor and joy and pride to add to that happiness, to make you happier or to see that you can actually be pleased, right? So start with noticing the good things that there are already. And also, I invite you to be present in the moment. Like, let's say you hate each other and there's a Cold War, and I told you, like, you're just passing each other in the kitchen and just focus, for example, on the food, on a smell, on a taste or something, and just say it and just be in the moment and just feel grateful that you're here right now, you're safe, you have a home. This food tastes so great. Your husband, even if you didn't ask him, and even if you're in a Cold War, he bought you your favorite kombucha drink, right? Like, what if you would focus on that? Like 100% of the time, like 1% of the time, sorry. So you increase that more and more. And feeling okay and being able to hold unhappiness and happiness in the same time. You don't have to choose and either be happy or unhappy. It's a percentage, right? And nobody's happy all of the time. So just choosing to be happy some of the times. It's like adding the vitamins, adding the good foods. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.